Hello, everybody. My name is Tantris Humble, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about forgiving, but not forgetting. Meaning that when you forgive somebody, a lot of people might think that it's okay to move forward with this person into the future. But many a time, those people are just naturally very toxic and probably not good for you. Maybe they're good for somebody else, but for the path that you want to continue down in your life, inviting that person when they're certainly not ready to be a part of your life again, even though you've mentally gotten over the trauma that they've put you through, it doesn't mean that they should come with you again, lest you run into more problems with that person, or what the saying obviously is, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And this doesn't go for everybody, but essentially there are some folks in the world who are just bad people, man. And I know that this sounds very cynical. Of course, my friends are really cool people because I've spent the majority of my life pursuing the best friendships and the greatest experiences that I possibly can have. And as a result of that, the folks that I hang out with are very introspective and they're cool. They teach me things and we have a blast every time that we hang out. But that learning process involved a lot of people who just, you really don't want to associate yourself with. And bad people, man. Like a great example, and I only thought about this just this morning, is like take the internet for example. There are so many folks who go online to YouTube, to Instagram, to basically anything, and then will just write the most heinous shit possible because they enjoy it and they know that they're not going to experience the consequences of it. And you can usually, split the people who say funny things in good faith and those who are just legitimately spewing the worst things humanity is capable of because they want to. And those are the kinds of people who maybe you don't realize that they're bad for you in the moment. Maybe you don't catch on to their sociopathy, but then you do, and you're really upset with them and you tell them off and you say, fuck you, I don't want you in my life. And it takes you 1 year, 3 years, 4 years. And eventually, maybe you forgive them or you get over it. And there's this empathy that I have where once I forgive somebody, I feel a little ecstasy like, wow, maybe we can be friends again. Hey, man, those times that you and I spent together in the past where you were bad to me and maybe I was bad to you, that's all behind us and we can be friends again. And there are some people who are, maybe I'll say, their mental development is stunted to the degree that maybe you're moving forward with your life. Maybe you have friends now, but to invite those people who have been bad to you, they're not capable of the same character growth you are. And inviting them back into your life is more harmful to you than beneficial. And maybe they'll benefit from it from your empathy, but just sucking all of that energy out of you, like the energy vampires those kinds of people can be, um, it's big trouble. And the thing is, for example, these bad people I'm talking about, there is this video I watched relatively recently, I think it was about a week ago, of this guy whose face was completely disfigured. He got himself into a car accident, which was no fault of his own, where he said that he was just driving down a standard highway, and then the next moment he woke up in a hospital, and the doctor told him that he'd been in a coma for a couple days. And this guy, his eyes are all puffy. You can clearly see that some of his face is like this. Some layers of his skin have just been completely, cut away. Maybe that they used skin grafts to repair his face, and he was missing a couple of fingers. And this guy is talking about like he doesn't care. He wants to go forward in his life and keep, pushing through. And the guy in question, he's cool. This is a good person. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, man, I got to stop complaining about my own health problems. Like, I know I'm worried about, my liver and that sometimes I drink more than I should because I drink as a social drinker, but I still go overboard. And I think of all the things in my life that aren't going as, smoothly as I want them to. And I see this dude, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And you go into the YouTube comments, and for the most part, they're pretty supportive. But then there are contexts in which I think that, look, man, you can say what you want, but there are a couple comments of people saying, ah, look, dude, it's Deadpool, because his face was all burned, and that's like the end of the comment. And I think that, for somebody putting them out on the internet, you're going to deal with people like this. But the fact that they exist and they're out there is, I just sometimes I just kind of shudder, because I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to make fun of a guy for going through such a horrible traumatic experience. Haha, you look like Deadpool. Like, what kind of fucking asshole, what kind of like non-empathetic person just goes online and shits on people like that? I mean, like I said, man, I'm not here to censor people. It's your rights to be that asshole. But as someone who believes in fighting good ideas, fighting bad ideas with good ideas, like I just, that kind of negativity that is so unnecessary and isn't even meant to like commiserate with other people. I shudder at it, and I think of like folks in my past who don't seem to care. They have no empathy or regret in saying some of these things to folks. And the intention is not to start a dialogue. The intention is not to be funny, not to, bring people together. But there's just like an antisocial facet to their way of being, which galvanizes people to get up and say the nasty thing on the internet. And this is something that a lot of people I know, a multitude of people I know, tell me, that they don't want to put themselves on the internet specifically because of the nasty comments that they're gonna get from folks. And it's just it's kind of sad, because like those same people on the internet, I've met them in real life, and they're just like, you want to be forgiving, you want to just move on with your life, but there are some folks, man, you gotta just you just have to stay away and learn your lesson that those folks, they have to wake up themselves, and you can be forgiving, you can no longer be hurt by it, but you have to develop like a good intuition for the people who deserve to be back in your life. You have to develop enough self-awareness to be like, am I the problem? If you're capable, because sometimes I've been bad to other people, right? Like, there are folks, I'll be honest with you guys, there are folks in my past who don't want to have anything to do with me because I fucked up. Um, Now, I don't know if they'll let me back in their life, and that's their prerogative, but um, if that person hasn't woken up and shown that they're willing to truly move forward to be that person who will be a good person to you, and someone who like to whom you can be good as well, if they don't have that self-awareness, it's just stay away, man. And it's a hard truth to swallow, because you want to think like, the world is full of good people. And as cynical as I am, and as misanthropic as I can be at times when I go out into the world, because I just, the INFP in me is like, ugh, people. I don't want to go outside. There are people out there. Like, as much as I can get into that headspace. At the end of the day, if I were asked to go to my core and express how I feel about humanity, is I don't really want to hurt anybody. But there are folks out there who do. And there's no fixing people like that. You can't do anything about it. You can forgive them, they'll hurt you, you can recover from the hurt, but it's just be I want everyone to kind of be careful, because I've made the mistake of like inviting old people back into my life, from like, old friends and ex-girlfriends and whatever, and you're like, all right, this is this is not good for me, and this person isn't showing that they're willing to, you know develop their character. And I haven't been like the perfect person in my life, guys. I mean, I've done horrible things, and I wasn't even aware of it, and I look back in my past and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm not a perfect human being. And I feel guilt. This is why I think, like, in the Western culture, we feel guilt so strongly, with like the whole like, forgive me, God, kind of thing. But just understand that we're not perfect people, and those who don't recognize that, not even from like a religious perspective, it's I'll reiterate one more time: stay away. I don't want anyone to be hurt. And if you know when someone's going to move forward with you, I think that your gut, especially with time, will help you with that. But yeah, these nasty folks, dude. Just nothing. There's nothing scarier than realizing that they're out there, they don't care, and they're not going to change. And I want everyone out there who's like empathetic and wants the world out there, the world to be a better place. I want you guys to just be careful, man. Don't hurt yourself. So, otherwise, that's all I had to say. Peace out and scroutly molly.